Jin of BTS has once again proven that his influence extends far beyond music, earning recognition from American media for his stunning appearance at Milan Fashion Week. Soap Central, a prominent US-based outlet, named Jin among the best-dressed stars at the Gucci premiere of the Tiger, highlighting his elegance and charisma on one of the world's most important fashion stages. The acknowledgement marks a significant milestone in Jin's growing reputation as a global fashion icon. While European fashion publications like Paris Match and Italian outlets had already praised his princely and sexy appearance, the recognition from Soap Central represents an expansion of Jin's influence into mainstream American media. Jin BTS has elevated his brand presence beyond the world of K-pop, embodying Gucci's modern vision with effortless sophistication. The outlet wrote, "At Palazzo Mezzanotte in Milan, Jin arrived in Gucci's La Famiglia collection, an ensemble featuring tailored black trousers, an open white silk shirt, and a bold necklace." The look quickly became one of the most discussed of the evening, drawing comparisons to Hollywood stars such as Demi Moore and Edward Norton, who were also in attendance. According to Soap Central, however, Jin's understated confidence set him apart. There was an aura about him that turned heads instantly. He was not just wearing Gucci, he was redefining Gucci. Fans, known worldwide as ARMY, celebrated the US media's recognition as a breakthrough moment. Hashtags like #JinBestDressed and #GlobalIconJin trended across X, as fans shared photos and videos of Jin's Milan appearance, often side by side with Soap Central's headline. Many praised the article for giving Jin the credit they felt he had long deserved in Western media. Fashion analysts see the recognition as part of a larger shift. When an American outlet outside the fashion industry highlights a K-pop star for his style, it signals something much bigger. One New York-based critic told Billboard, "Jin is crossing over into mainstream awareness in the US, and that makes him not just a celebrity, but a cultural figure." As Gucci continues to strengthen its cultural presence under creative director Demnig Vasalia, Jin's growing visibility in American press reinforces his role as a bridge between East and West, music and fashion, tradition and modernity. With Milan now behind him and his influence spreading rapidly across continents, Jin BTS has officially entered a new era. One where his name is mentioned not only among the greatest idols, but also among the world's most powerful fashion icons. The moment Soap Central's article went live, American fans of BTS flooded social media with excitement. Within hours, hashtags like #JinBestDressed and #SoapCentralForJin became top global trends on X, accumulating millions of mentions. ARMY in the US emphasized the importance of the acknowledgement, pointing out that fashion recognition often comes from European outlets, but this time it was an American publication that elevated Jin's status on an international stage. "I've seen Hollywood stars walk Milan, but the way Jin carried himself? Different league," one fan posted, a sentiment echoed by thousands. Videos of Jin walking into the Gucci premiere, his silk shirt slightly open, necklace glinting under the lights, fans screaming in the background, were reposted alongside Soap Central's headline, creating a feedback loop of excitement that extended well beyond the fandom. Hollywood insiders take note it wasn't just fans who noticed. Fashion critics in New York and Los Angeles began weighing in, many of them surprised by how decisively Jin dominated headlines despite being surrounded by Hollywood royalty. A stylist who previously worked with stars at the Oscars told Variety, "It's rare to see someone from outside Hollywood capture the entire narrative of an event. But Jin did it, and American media recognizing him for that is historic." Others suggested that Jin's recognition at Milan could set the stage for future collaborations in the US. "It wouldn't be surprising to see Jin front row at the Met Gala soon," a senior editor at Vogue US commented. "He has the elegance, the global fan power, and now the American press behind him." A cultural turning point for many cultural commentators, Soap Central's nod symbolized something larger, a shift in how American media views K-pop idols. In the past, US outlets often covered idols primarily in the context of their music or fan base. But this recognition framed Jin as a standalone fashion authority, not simply a singer dabbling in style. CNN's entertainment desk covered the story with a headline, "BTS's Jin named among best dressed in Milan. Recognition goes beyond music." The article noted that this wasn't just about clothes, it was about cultural influence, visibility, and the undeniable reality that Jin had become part of the global fashion elite. Fans see a larger victory for ARMY. This moment was about validation. Jin, who has long been celebrated by fans for his elegance, visuals, and quiet charisma, was finally receiving the kind of recognition they felt had been overdue in Western media. On community forums, Fans describe the news as a turning point, with one post reading, "It's not just Paris or Milan saying it now. It's America too. Jin's time has come." Some even speculated that this could impact Gucci's future campaigns in the US, predicting that Jin might soon front exclusive North American promotions. If true, it would cement his presence not just in fashion capitals like Milan and Paris, but also in New York and Los Angeles, the heart of Hollywood. As the dust settled on Milan Fashion Week, the conversation surrounding Jin showed no signs of slowing. His recognition by Soap Central and coverage from major US outlets had transformed what could have been just another celebrity appearance into a cultural moment. Suddenly, Jin wasn't only being praised as one of the best dressed of the season, he was being talked about as a defining figure in fashion's future. For Gucci, his presence solidified their cultural strategy. For fans, it was validation of his timeless charm and elegance. And for the wider entertainment industry, it was proof that Jin's star power extended far beyond music. He was a force reshaping the intersection of East and West, style and sound, tradition and innovation. Building momentum for BTS's return, the timing of this recognition could not have been more significant. With BTS set to reunite in 2026 for a new album and a long-awaited world tour, Jin's solo victories are seen as momentum for the group's collective comeback. Industry experts have pointed out that Jin's fashion influence, coupled with his steady success in music, could help redefine BTS's image in their post-military era. American outlets have already speculated about the synergy between Jin's fashion dominance and BTS's musical return. An article from Billboard suggested, if BTS is preparing for their next global takeover, Jin has already laid the groundwork in fashion and culture. His recognition in Milan adds another layer to the group's cultural dominance. Fans dream of what's next on fan forums. ARMY members are buzzing about the possibilities. Will Jin attend the Met Gala next year? Could he collaborate with major US designers or star in a Hollywood campaign? And how might his individual success feed into BTS's grand reunion? Theories abound, but one thing is certain, Jin's Milan Fashion Week chapter has shifted the narrative. No longer just one of K-pop's biggest stars, he has emerged as a global tastemaker, a cultural bridge, and most importantly, an icon whose influence is only beginning to unfold. A new era of stardom. The story of Jin in Milan is more than fashion. It's about timing, transformation, and triumph. He walked into Gucci's premiere as a global ambassador, but he walked out as something bigger, a symbol of K-pop's undeniable seat at the table of global fashion. For American media to recognize him as one of the best dressed in Milan is not just acknowledgement, it's an announcement. An announcement that Jin BTS has entered a new era. An era where his music, his style, and his presence shape not only the K-pop narrative, but the global entertainment landscape. And as the world waits for BTS's 2026 return, Jin's moment in Milan is the perfect prelude, a reminder that when he steps into the spotlight, the world doesn't just watch, it changes.